Welcome to Oddly Coded, where the first time always feels so good. Turn the vibration up to 11. Strap in for all our best firsts. That's right, we're talking about video games.
I remember my first time.
My name is Matt, and this is what my voice sounds like.
My name's Steej, and this is what my voice sounds like most of the time.
This is Lyle. This is me on a good day.
I'm Shannon.
And that's not what her voice sounds like. Welcome to the podcast, Shannon, our first guest ever for Oddly Coded.
Speaking of firsts,
Yeah.
first guest,
It's a first for us.
first time on Oddly Coded, first time being having a surprise podcast.
Yeah.
Surprise, you're on a podcast.
We
Merry
got
Christmas.
Shannon on here within the past hour. I messaged her and I was just like, "Hey, Dan can't make it today. You in?" And
then I didn't see it.
5 minutes before, she was like, "Wait, fuck, what?"
Yeah, you're like, in an hour we're recording, and then I got that like an hour after it was sent. I was like, does that mean you're recording right now? And you're like, yeah hop on in. So,
Let's do it.
all right, we got Cozy Bitch podcast today. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Always
gonna
with
be
the
great.
cozy vibes. So,
Absolutely. What are we talking about, Matt?
We're talking about firsts. The first time you ever played a video game, or the first time you ever completed a video game, or maybe even like 100% of a video game. It's really just nostalgia again. It's the nostalgia episode again.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. We're not rehashing old ideas because we're running out of ideas. It's fine.
No, it's fine.
The internet
We're only
already hates me.
15
It's all good.
episodes in, and
Yeah, 15 episodes that we hit our wall already. It's great.
You guys peaked.
Yeah, we've already peaked.
Actually, what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to give
okay.
us our two commenters of the week, or subscribers of the week. That's what we're calling them. We have the caller, who basically laid out a bit of a meme here, which is Oddly Coded. They really just need to take elements and make something new, talking about the live-action Zelda. And then also Oddly Coded, Link better not talk.
Thank you. Fucking thank you.
Dear God, if you guys change that.
Yeah. We don't
They're-
like change, but you better do something new.
They're going to make him talk. I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so mad.
And
shit.
also
Oh,
Professor Plum. When Spider-Man doesn't win, I call dibs on taking his spot on Oddly Coded, talking about Dan.
Yeah.
Well, Dan's not
Too
here.
late!
I'm sorry. Shannon
Got
has
him.
already claimed your spot, apparently, even
Let's
though you called it first.
I ate
Sorry,
him.
Plum. Sorry. Comment about it. Maybe you'll win next time.
Again, like you did
Keep
this
on
time.
commenting. But yeah, no, I mean, Shannon, if you're ready. Otherwise, I've got a few things up my sleeve.
I'm ready. I consumed Dan for power, so now all
Okay.
of his podcasting ability
Like
has
Piccolo.
gone. Yeah, literally,
Let's go.
gone into me.
To include the Spider-Man obsession.
So what was the question again? We were talking about first
She's
video
ready.
game.
First video
that's
game you
actually-
ever played.
That's actually
fits.
such a loaded question. Because there's this adorable picture of me. It's my dad's like one of his screensavers, and I'm this like little itty bitty like little thing, and I'm playing this like Barbie game on the PS1, and I'm like
All the way up. Yeah.
like fucking drooling. But it's like adorable. So like I have those like I just played video games like. For me and my sister played Mario Kart. She would set up like a chair because back in the old Mario Kart, you could do 2-player while one person was driving and one person would throw the items.
Double dash.
Yeah.
The best
The
one.
worst one.
Yeah, but it was.
Shut up, Lyle. It's the best one.
And she made me think that I got the good deal by being the one to throw the items, but fucking no one wants to do that. But I was a little kid, and whatever. I had to be Daisy because she wanted to be Peach, but whatever. I'm not even mad about it. It's fine.
She's not listening.
So, but she'd make like a little. You're right.
It's okay. You can be yourself. You can air your truth here.
If you are
My
listening,
trauma.
comment down below right now, please.
Fuck you. I'm Princess Peach. I honestly feel like that shaped our personalities. Like for real though.
Having to share a cart and double dash.
Living in the shadow
No,
of
you're
your
giving
sister.
me Rosalina vibes with the whole.
Oh, I know. I decided to be seen in middle school, and I'm regretting it for the rest of my life because now I can't part it the other way. It doesn't go in the middle.
I was just saying
Yeah.
with the blue.
Oh,
But yeah.
I thought you meant because Rosalina's very like.
Because of your scene.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
she
but
she
yeah.
is
Oh, yeah.
like Bangs
I
bangs
didn't
covering
realize
one
you meant
eye.
seen. I thought you meant like seen. Like I feel seen.
Well, she does feel seen.
It
ever since
works.
middle
You're
school.
so seen.
It works on both ends.
Yeah. But yeah, that's awesome. It's so you're saying the Barbie game was your first game. That was like probably
What
your
if
first
someone
game.
asked me like what was the game to get me into video games? My first game was Call of Duty Black Ops. My
Really?
parents got me the PS3 that came with Black Ops with it. Like
Yeah.
Like
it
bundled
was
in.
like a set, but like I didn't. Well, I was like 10, so I wasn't allowed to go online. So I would go around Nuketown and I would shoot the little dummies. And I had a blast all by myself, and I was too scared
Quite
of
literally.
zombies. But eventually I was like this. Eventually it got boring. So I was like, I
Yeah.
guess I got to shoot some Nazi zombies. And
Yeah. Wait,
the rest
so
is
that
history.
I don't remember Black Ops. I remember Black Ops 2 for the zombies. I don't remember.
Oh, you didn't play Kindertoten?
Not Noctur Untoten?
I don't know.
not?
I
No,
remember
Kinder-
playing one of the zombie games. I didn't think it was a
Kindertoten
Black
was
Ops
one of the
game.
newer
So
levels. You're
so
right. You're
Black
right.
Ops, they're Nazis, and
Yeah.
it's.
You got guns. You go
Really?
pew pew.
And they had the dogs, and that's when I would die. I would play until the dogs came because I didn't want
Because
to.
you didn't want to shoot the dogs.
Yeah, and also they were
Wow.
fast.
Wow.
Too much
They
for
were
me.
fast.
Never even mind that they're like zombified dogs that want to eat your face off. You're just like,
just-
nah, I can't do it.
All
Can't-
dogs go to heaven.
Peace.
Can't
I
hurt the
don't know if those
puppers.
ones do.
Can't hurt the puppers.
Oh, maybe it was Portal 2.
But okay.
See, now you're
But
speaking
no,
Matt's language.
it wasn't on my computer though. I went to my cousin's and he was like, "Want to see the coolest shit you've ever seen?" He was like, he was like in his 20s. My mom
Was he high?
like, "Look at her, watch her, please."
Yeah.
And he was like,
my
"What do I
hands.
do with the child?" He was like, "Video game." And then I was like, "Mom, I need to get this video game, please." And then
Yeah.
with the physical copy, they make you download Steam. And that's why I had Steam, and that's
Oh,
why I
yeah.
found then what was it, Terraria,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that literally changed the course of my life so dramatically.
Because that's when you started streaming was with Terraria, right? Or what? Was it?
Maybe I started streaming at like 13.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Like,
Well, that's when did we find you when you were playing Terraria? I can't remember. It was like-
probably. I don't know. I
years
did.
ago at this
I
point.
do a bunch of. I just
There was a lot
throw
of bouncing around.
spaghetti at
I'm
the wall.
realizing how much we're like aging ourselves right now because you
Shut
said
up.
one of your first games was Portal 2. And I'm like,
I'll just wait till we
Wait,
get to
Shannon,
me.
how old are you?
I'm
if you don't mind me
20
asking.
I'm 23. How old are you guys?
Oh,
I'm a
man.
decade older than you.
I am gonna leave that to the internet to decide.
I'm 28.
17.
Comment down below how old you think I
didn't-
am and why.
I didn't realize. Okay, well, that's fine. No, that's honestly, you fill in for Dan really well then because
Yeah,
you both
he
are
was the
around the same
youngest.
age. He's
Yeah.
our Zennial, and you can be our
Oh my
Zennial.
god!
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Zeniella.
Welcome to the
Oh.
old people room.
So we're gonna have completely different.
But
Maybe
that's
I'm
good.
a
That
bad
makes-
guest for the first.
No.
These are gonna be
It's
like, that
more
was-
of a variety. There's no
Yeah, that-
problem with a
Different
a-
perspectives are good. We
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
different perspectives.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We are single-minded, hive mind, all one thing.
I was
You
just having
cannot-
my own existential crisis when you said that Portal 2 was like one of your first games, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
That definitely threw me off too, and I was like, oh.
Nothing against
I was
you.
about
I was just
10.
like, fuck, I am old.
And the voice acting in that game that
Oh, it was
contributed.
really good.
It was
I
so
wanted
good.
to be GLaDOS and Wheatley. changed my life. I was
just
like,
about
I want
to
to do
say-
that.
I was about to
Wheatley,
say, did you want to be GLaDOS?
Yeah.
Wheatley was one of Ricky
I was-
Gervais's like trio of his like inner circle executive producer friends for all his comedy stuff. I can't remember I'm blanking on his name right now, but Wheatley was just perfect.
So I was gonna say, speaking of Portal 2, I'm in the middle of a playthrough. I actually missed the upload. I was doing every 2 weeks, but it was supposed to be last Friday. It didn't quite work out. We'll see. I'll fix it eventually. I'll just
Will
I
he,
don't know.
though?
Anyway, but I found a secret. I don't know if you ever saw this in Portal 2. But you know how whenever you go to like the specific rooms, like there's the different like levels, and like when you go to the room to select like which level of that section that you're playing, there's 2 monitors up above with like code running on it.
Oh yeah.
If you look in there and you start to read some of the things, there are different ingredients for cake.
Yep.
So the cake
Yeah.
is real. If anybody was ever wondering, the cake is real. It's in the code. It's been there the whole time.
The cake is real because you can find it in Portal 1.
Oh yeah, it was an Easter egg. Yeah.
I was thinking about that recently. Actually, the cake is a lie. It was a birthday of my friend or whatever, and like I was thinking of Portal, like cake woo, and I was thinking Portal, and I was like, the cake is a lie, and I'm like the cake is a lie. It's about birthdays. It's about birthdays. It's because we're not supposed to be happy because of the constant tick of time. The cake is a lie. It's not a happy day. And anyway,
we're slowly reaching the inevitability that is death.
I love that.
So I was like, I just had a little bit of an existential crisis.
Nice.
That was a beautiful spiral. I'm a big fan of that. I think now's a good time. We can ask somebody else. Steej, what was your first video game?
It's me. Okay, so my first video game that I remember, my older brother had an N64, right? So the first one I ever remember playing was Mario 64. Or the original, well, I guess it's not the original, but Mario Kart 64. It was one of those two, and I can't remember, probably both at the same time. And I was like 4 years old, so I was equally bad at both of them. It's just like a very fuzzy memory that I have of that happening. Now, the first console I ever owned, as I've said on here before, was the GameCube, and Mario Kart Double Dash was one of my first games and remains one of my favorite games of all time because of its uniqueness and it being the best Mario Kart ever created. And I will take no further questions at this time. But yeah, whenever it comes to my first games though, it was definitely one of those two for the N64. And I don't remember much. It's incredibly fuzzy, but what I probably did was just jumped around the castle and did absolutely nothing for probably like hours on end. And I just thought that was the most fun thing ever because I'm just like, wow, I press a button and funny man say woohoo and jump. And that's all I needed. I was 4. That's all I needed. Well, what, Shannon, you were just saying about that, what game was it you were saying?
Oh, Black Ops and Nuketown because there are little dummies everywhere. Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm thinking.
I was just happy to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Like the most minute amount of anything that we needed to like have our attention grabbed as children was just I miss those days. I miss that where it's like
bright colors.
I know. Tears
I didn't
flowing.
have to like 100% and get all the challenges and achievements in a game to get any sense of
get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, completion or enjoyment.
Like you got your money's worth because you're an adult and you had to buy it with your own money. So damn it, you're gonna complete it.
I'm gonna do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Before my dopamine addiction, video games were real fun.
The dopamine was already abundant in my mind. I didn't need any. I was happy doing anything. And then adulthood. Oopsie.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Oh,
I became an
well.
adult.
What about you,
That's just how it
Lyle?
happens, right?
So I came a little prepared for this one because I have a slew of firsts.
Nice.
First video game system I ever played was my dad's NES. So growing up, my dad had the NES and he also had a Super Nintendo. He got the Super Nintendo the year it came out, which was the year I was born, 1991. We had Super Mario All-Stars. We had Super Mario World. This was for the Super Nintendo. For the NES, we had Super Tennis, which was super fucking fun. I'm going to use the word super a billion more times, just in case I can't really find a better way to emphasize how
It's a highly
super
applicable
it was.
word.
Yeah.
Yes, and then for the NES, I also had Batman Forever, which was a game based on the movie. It was a 2D side-scrolling like beat 'em up. It was really, really fucking fun. Never beat it. But I got like I was at a point where this was obviously before the N64 came out, so like I'm like 4 or 5 years old, and I get to parts of the game that just get too difficult. So I'm just like, all right, I'll just restart the game, like hit the little chick on the right hand side of the system to reset the entire fucking system. No save progress or anything, and just start the levels over again. And I got really good at those first few levels.
It was a roguelike without being a roguelike.
It was
You made it a roguelike.
I was gonna say it was a self-inflicted roguelike.
Yeah.
But Super Tennis was really fun because I had no idea that sports games were like a thing at that time. So just the fact that there was a video game that was based upon something that we do in real life, it was like, wait, what? It was a little.
It's not like a quest or adventure. It's literally just
why would I play
hitting a
this on a
ball
video
around.
game? I can go outside and do this on my own.
But like the opposite mentality of that. I was like, obviously I didn't know the term at the time, but I'm retroactively thinking like this is a little meta, but like I like it. Like this is cool.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to go out and get sweaty and actually do the thing myself. I can just sit here and do it on the TV in my living room while eating bagel bites. Like what is this? So the first game that I ever like found secrets and did all the secrets for was Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. Going to Star World and then going to the Special World on top of Star World, which had the 8 bonus levels. And then the first video game system I ever owned myself that was mine. My parents got me the N64 the year it came out for Christmas, and
that's where everything changed.
I was that stereotypical kid. I was the meme of the kid that was like, "It's a Nintendo 64," like throwing it over my head, and like my sister's freaking out. She has no idea what the fuck's going on too, because I do have a younger sister, but she's there too. It was bundled with Mario 64. Mario 64 was my first like video game skill check, like as a kid. Because
in what way?
3D platforming, as when it came out, obviously was a little difficult to comprehend for a lot of people, as we were predominantly used to the 2D side scrolling.
That was the first 3D platforming Mario, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah. It was. It also, like, I have a funny memory tied to Mario 64. So, like, my parents, one day when I was probably like 5 or 6, they woke me up at like 10 p.m. because I was already in bed. I was a kid. I was in bed. And they were playing Mario 64, and they were in a level for Dire Docks, the one where you go into the ship and the water goes up and down, and you have platforms like that are barnacles that like lead up to a box for the stars. And they were like, "Lyle, like, can you beat this?" and like little groggy me like does it the first try, and they're like, "All right, go back to bed." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You wake me up to play video games just so I can do it for you, just to send me back to bed?" Yeah. But then
it's kind of beautiful though.
It was.
It's usually the other way around. Like you see all the old pictures of like, you know, the little kids gathered around their mom because they can't beat like the Mario level on their Game Boy, and so they give it to their mom, and she's like, "All right, I'll do it."
You should have charged.
Yeah, it was just
$5.
The NES was also my very first toes dipping into the Zelda franchise, which we all know is my bread and butter.
Your breath and butter.
My breath and butt hair. But the gold cartridge I only ever played at summer camp. Like I never had like my own NES Zelda cartridge. The very first Zelda game I ever owned was Ocarina of Time on the N64. I had the collector's edition, the gold cart then. It's since been lost to time.
Did you check the temple?
I did.
Is
I did
it in
not.
the temple?
I did not. But Ocarina of Time became one of my most favoriteest games of all time. And then the last one I want to talk about is my very first like Game Boy game that I actually like went out of my way to make sure I obtained, and it was Pokemon Blue. So my parents weren't able to like buy me a shit ton of video games just as they came out all the time, so they would have to. They would try to like negotiate with myself and my sister as kids to be like, "Oh, we know that you guys like chicken nuggets and pizza. Let's try and branch you out of your fucking picky ass eating habits."
And that didn't work.
And that clearly did not work. However, it worked in my favor because one day we were at like my dad's like works backyard barbecue or something, or like they were having like an oyster roast or whatever. I don't fucking know. The point is that my dad was like, "Here, Lyle, if you try this, we will go to Walmart tomorrow and you can pick out whatever game you want." And I little like 6 or 7, however old I was, my mind was just like, I just have to try it. Like I don't even have to swallow it or like eat, like whatever. So I just take the little oyster on a cracker on a little saltine and I chew it up. And my dad's like, "No, you got to give it a good shot. Like chew it up a bunch." I ended up gagging and throwing the whole thing up. but he kept his word. The next day,
there you go.
The next day we went and got and that was but at the time I knew that there was like red versus blue, like not the Halo thing. For you younger listeners out there. Red version.
That's also an old series, but okay.
Red version, blue version. So we go to Walmart, and that stereotypical meme of like, oh, the hardest decision you ever made as a kid. Like I stood there in front of the glass at Walmart, like
Blastoise or Charizard.
I like the color red, but blue is also Blastoise is bigger than I
mean, if anything,
came home with blue version, and the rest is history. Now I don't like Pokemon anymore. So
God.
Oh, adulthood.
Oh, adulthood. But anyway, that's all I got.
That's great. No, honestly, I'm still latched on to your story about being woken up to beat a Mario level for your parents. That is the sweetest and funniest thing.
It's so vivid. It's so vivid to me too, because like it's very much. I can see where exactly in the old house that we used to live in, where it was. My parents were like, it was pitch black in the house. They were both just sitting on the floor, huddled around the CRT, which was the only source of light in the house at that time, like at the time that they were playing. And then the stairs like went upstairs, like right behind the TV.
So you like came down.
So vivid. I never owned any any of the colored N64 controllers. I only ever owned gray ones. And I just remember having 2 gray ones there and I was like, why do you guys have both controllers out? This is a 1-player game. And they're just like, shut up and get the star, you son of a bitch.
Shut up and get the star. This is what you were born for.
Oh my God, that is such a beautiful story. I love that so much.
You're a beautiful story.
Your mom's a beautiful
I love you
story.
so
What?
Hey yo.
First game I ever played was your mom.
What were your guys' like parents' phone numbers? No.
Wait.
No. How was the attitude around video games in your house? Lyle talking about his like parents actually literally playing the games and being like, hey, like.
Wait, what even happened? I just see Jill and I'm just like, oh, hey, Jill.
Nothing.
Okay. All right.
So Lyle's parents literally playing video games without him is nothing that would have happened in my house. Like my parents weren't like anti-video game because clearly they got us some video games. Like they got us the GameCube. But like they didn't really like it and they like really limited my time playing it because they were just like, okay, now go play outside. And I was like, no, I want to play GameCube. But like what were other than Lyle, because we already see what yours was like, what were the attitudes around video games in your guys' house? Like Shannon, whenever you were growing up, what was the general attitude? Were your parents cool with it, or like were they like, but don't play it too much, or you know?
Just real quick, I don't want to say it. My parents were not gamers, but they clearly had like they were okay with gaming at some
leaps
points.
and bounds beyond my household.
Yeah,
like that
probably
would have
more
never
than,
been a thing that would have happened.
Probably
in my
more
household.
than most.
But
did we ask Matt what his first video game was, or did we skip him?
We'll get there. We'll get there. You answer the parents' question, and I'll go next.
Answer the question.
I'll go next.
No,
you do it.
I felt bad. I was
just
like,
kind of
Matt,
dawned on me. It
he's
just kind
gonna
of dawned on me.
cry.
Yeah. It's all good.
No, I feel like my mom had like she like struggled with like the amount of time I would spend with video games because she was like, on the one hand, like I would get everything. The rule was I had to get everything I needed to do done, and so I'd get everything I needed to do done real fast and real early in the day. So when I was on video games, she'd be like, "Did you?" And I'm like, "Yep." And she's like, "Did you do that?" I'm like, "Yes, I did."
It's a
and
great motivator.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about? And I'm like, "I did that, and I did the thing that you told me to do tomorrow." And she's like,
Mother, I am living on another plane of existence. You know not my motives.
And then she's like, and then you'd play for like 10 hours, but you had like a social life, and you know, it you had good grades, and you know, she was like, maybe I should have restricted you more. But I'm like, but then I fell so in love with, like, it's why it's 100% shaped the rest of my life. It's why I became a software engineer and a voice actor, and why I stream, and you know.
I have so many questions for you after this podcast. Sorry,
or
no,
we
like
could
to
have her on
develop my
another
own
time.
shit, but yeah.
Or we could have her on another time and talk about that. It doesn't always have to be directly video game related. Just saying.
No, I know. I'm looking at a career change in the near future, and things like software engineering and voice acting are big interests of mine. So
okay.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the authority on either, but
Well, yeah,
I do okay. I get by.
Yeah.
You are here.
She has published works.
Yeah. And you're cool. So yeah. So I am going to talk about the first video games that I ever played or completed, or also other things. But first,
back to that.
We're going to bring back a slightly dead segment called "Let's Make Some TikTok Content." Steej.
Yes.
Here's your limb stick.
Oh, okay.
That's the acronym, by the way.
Let's make some TikTok.
Sounds like lipstick. I don't get it.
We can apply the limb stick.
Oh, let's make that. Got it.
There it is. Yep. Okay. Steej, what do you mean the Chow Garden should be its own game? It was the worst part of Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay, listen. First of all, what do you even want me to argue here? Like, you're throwing too many arguments my way. One of those arguments is that it definitely wasn't the worst part of Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2 is a spectacular game in its mediocrity, and the fact that you would even say that the Chow Garden is the worst part of that, you're on drugs. You're high. What is wrong with you?
Why would you want it to be its own game like that? That's what I'm saying. Is that
it was
it's
just
not
so
even an
boring.
Enjoyable experience.
It was so
the
boring.
Most enjoyable experience. You hatch a little dude, and then you get to play the game just so you can raise the little dude.
What do you want to do? What do you want to play that game on your phone or something? Is
just
it like
have a
such
kid.
a simple game that you'd want to play it on your phone so you could have little Chow Garden people with you
Listen to me,
all the
Sega.
time or something?
Sega, listen to me right now. If you do not make Chow Garden go, you're making a mistake.
Wouldn't be Sega. It would be Niantic.
Well, Niantic and Sega would work together, just like the Pokemon Company and Niantic worked on
Doesn't
Pokemon
Nintendo
Go.
own Sega right now? Or
It'd be so boring.
I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Make it! Do it!
Chow Garden Go. There you go. That's how it came about.
Shannon is agape.
Is this how you make your TikToks?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
This is how we
I feel like I was just told that Santa Claus wasn't real.
podcast. We leave all of this in the podcast for posterity.
This is all in the podcast.
Yeah. we haven't done a Let's Make Some TikTok content in a few episodes, but I had an idea for it today, so we went with it.
You just spout controversy to turn
Sometimes,
Steej into the like
Yeah.
bowl with like
Oh,
the red.
he's not the only one. I was
Yeah.
That's the source of the internet's
Honestly,
vitriol.
yeah, one of our most watched TikToks / Instagram reels is me getting Lyle to rant about his hatred for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Which was
I
actually
did see that one,
which was
but that was
actually
just out of the
true.
blue.
No,
I
it
voluntarily
was,
made myself the bad guy there too.
It was
so,
half and
yeah.
half. It was half and half because
No
we
one
did.
here actually thinks the Chow Garden is bad. He just knows that I love Sonic Adventure 2 and I love the Chow Garden, and so he's just like, oh, let's poke Steej's buttons and see what he comes up with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but all of this will be in the podcast for posterity, so you guys know where
so
this shit
people
comes
can
from.
see.
Yeah,
people can see. Like,
I love the
they're
people
a bunch
that
of hacks.
Yeah, I love some of the I love some of the comments where they're like, you guys are like serious, like they get seriously angry about it. I'm like, please watch.
It's really funny.
Please watch for the full context. Go look at the thing.
They won't. It's not gonna happen.
It's fine.
But it's fine.
I can't believe you're rage baiting everyone.
Right?
It's
Smart.
so funny. It's so funny.
It is good.
Oh man. So yeah, my first video game ever. This actually ties into my parents' attitudes towards video games when I was a kid.
Okay.
My mom was much less into video games as far as like having like us play our own video games. My dad was a little bit of a gamer.
Matt, continue. I'll be right back.
Okay.
This will pertain to this.
Okay. So Doom.
Lyle sucks. Lyle fucked my mom.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
What?
We love Lyle. We love him so much. We would never say anything bad about him.
Yeah, what a cool guy.
I'm
Look at
telling
his
them that
house.
you fucked my
He's
mom.
keeping him on.
I'm telling on
He
you.
has his headphones on.
All right, so Doom actually is one of the games that I saw my dad playing a whole lot. And as a child, I probably shouldn't. I mean, it was like weird pixelated stuff anyway.
Yeah,
like
the original Doom.
Yeah, the original Doom.
Yeah.
And he was playing it on his computer. He had some really interesting games on that computer sometimes. Do you guys remember when I brought up Coconut Monkey?
Oh, did he have Meat and Fuck
Yeah.
Kingdom?
No, we're not doing that, Steej.
The poop killer?
It's dead. It's a dead meme now. It's already dead. It died as soon as it happened.
Meat and Huh? All right, continue. So what did he have on his computer, Matt?
He had Doom. So, did you guys, as kids, did you guys ever, like when you're, when you're like supposed to be in bed and then you like get up and then you like go and you see like what the parents are doing and they're like watching a scary movie or they're like,
or they're playing Mario 64.
Or they're playing Mario 64 like that. See,
yeah,
or
sucking
or they're wrestling. Yeah,
shut up.
WWE.
I would
like the N64.
I remember sometimes like seeing my dad like watching South Park, and I would like maybe like sit on the stairs and kind of like watch it, instead when I'm not supposed to. And then so it was kind of a similar thing with Doom, where like he's gonna play it, and I'm not really supposed to be watching, but it's so interesting, and I'm just like I am invested in this. Yeah. My favorite were the little pink guys. I found out later they were called Minotaurs, but I called them Pinkies, like, and it was like they were like
naturally
there are Pinkies.
Is that what they're called?
Keep talking.
There's no way I coined that. Dad was actually really active on forums, and he turned them into the Pinkies, and the developers picked it up.
The crazy butterfly effect towards Doom.
Yeah. So yeah, I loved watching him play Doom, and I'm pretty sure I played it when I wasn't supposed to be playing it. I don't know if I was actually like allowed
I'm telling on you.
to play it. Well, I'm telling on myself too right now, but
okay. Pinkies are an enemy type from Doom, an unintelligent, brutish demon that relies entirely on speed and raw physical power to overcome their prey. Pinkies exist.
What?
But it's a different monster.
But it's probably
is it not the Minotaur?
So there is a Minotaur monster, but you're talking about two different monsters.
Really?
Yeah.
It's almost like he was 6.
I don't know. I just remember
You're the cat.
I just
You're
remember
lying.
the pink ones.
Well, I just wanted to confirm that Pinky was actually was an actual monster in Doom.
Yeah.
It was a monster in Doom. Okay.
Look at you.
Anyway, go on.
All right. Well, anyway. But yeah, no, I would play that game when I wasn't supposed to. I would get on my dad's computer, turn it on, and then just go play that game. And it was not easy. At all, especially as a kid. I mean, so my first game was a first-person shooter. You didn't really have, the Y-axis to look on, but that was. I recently, it was a formative time for me, and so like Doom is a very nostalgic game for me. I actually recently just bought the rest of them on Steam. There was a sale recently, and I was just like, I'm just gonna get all of them because I haven't played the new one, and I never finished. Doom Eternal? Yeah, I haven't played Doom Eternal. I haven't finished. What was the revamping? Not the one in 2013.
Doom 2016.
2016. Yeah, that one. That one was just called Doom again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Doom.
one.
Tim Allen's Doom.
Yeah, Tim Allen's Doom. Oh God, that's a reference nobody except for you and I understand. I think.
Yes.
Anyway. I fucking love that game. I love every single Doom I've ever played. Actually, speaking of horror game, well, we weren't speaking of horror games. Speaking of Doom, Doom 2013. If you haven't played that, Steej, that was a horror game. Have you played any of the Dooms?
Nope.
See, but they're action though. Like it's like action rip and tear. It's not jump scares.
Listen, you didn't ask me why I didn't play them. You're just assuming I didn't play them because I think it's a horror game.
You scared?
Well, anyway, you should play Doom.
Scared the demons?
I just haven't played it yet.
You cry?
Hey, you should play Doom 20. You should play the Doom that came out in 2013. I think.
The canceled game?
What do you mean canceled?
Anyway, the game Doom was canceled in 2013.
I don't know. This one came out. I played
what
it.
What did it tweet?
There was a Doom game that came out. Wait, no, it was before that shit. I don't know. Forget me.
Okay, I will.
It was before. I don't know. There was a Doom that was like a horror game that like it was like the first like 3D rendered. Like,
are you talking about Doom 3? Like, because Doom 3 was more horror than any of the other games.
It must have been that one.
Okay.
I love that game, but God, it was the scariest one they ever made.
Xbox.
And you want me to play it?
Yeah, well, never mind. You shouldn't play
Shannon, just to bring you into this conversation that you're being thrown into, I'm a little piss baby bitch, and I don't play.
But also when it pertains to horror games.
Yeah, but also with horror games. Yeah, I don't play horror games at all. And we had a couple episodes ago where they were trying to convince me something good to start my horror game journey with. That is like not too scary, but like a little bit. And I actually I mean, we can get back on this. I don't fucking care. What was? Oh, I remember.
Luigi's Mansion or the Poop Killer 2?
Yeah. If I don't, we made bets on who we think will win Game of the Year this year, which I'd love to get your opinion about that if you follow that at all. But if it's not Baldur's Gate 3, I have to play The Poop Killer, which is a horror game about a guy that comes and kills you if you don't flush the toilet.
And his head is a giant toilet.
So he's a hero, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. That's what I said. I was
in
just
more
like,
ways
as
than
he
one.
should. As he should.
Yeah.
If you don't flush the toilet, like, were you born in a barn?
I thought he was in the toilet, and then while you poop, he stabs you in the butt, and then you die.
Maybe.
No, that's just my fear every time I go to the
That doesn't
bathroom.
happen.
Yeah, that's just one of those
we-
irrational. Well, that's what you do in the bathroom. You
It's
wee.
co-op.
Pause.
Girls do.
So the whole reason I ran away, because I was scared. But no, the whole reason I ran away was because I want to share something that was probably even before I got my first Game Boy. My dad gave me this. It is an original. For those of you that aren't on the visual end of the podcast right now, it is an original Game & Watch Donkey Kong handheld.
Whoa!
It's something that my dad gave me a very, very long time ago. I don't like the batteries in it currently don't work, but if I got them replaced, it might bleep and bloop again.
Yeah.
But it was so fun when I was a child. It was so freaking fun.
The precursor to the DS.
3 different game modes. Yeah,
See
when
where
you're
they got the
playing-
idea.
People want to know.
Ds.
People want to know in Super Smash Brothers where Game & Watch came from. This is where Game & Watch came from.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's
Awesome, you still have that.
little.
It's so
I don't have
compact.
anything like that from my childhood. I had a. I was saying, like, my parents weren't like super into gaming, but they did get me and my brother those brick, like the brick Game Boys. Yeah. I think I had the
Game Boy.
gray one and my brother had the red one. But yeah, it was like black and white, or like.
Well, if it was red, it was probably
So
the Game
so
Boy.
you
like
probably
the-
had
the green one.
you had the Game Boy Pocket if it was still black and white, because the Game Boy Pocket were still super small. Then the big white ones, those are the bricks those are like TI-83s.
Oh
Yeah, it was like green and black.
Yeah,
Like, yeah. It was like, yeah, it wasn't a pocket or anything like that.
Because I had I had a red Game Boy. Pause again.
Here we go.
Shannon, did the mention of a TI-83 calculator jump scare you?
Yeah, you did. I'm trying to think. I think what do I have from my childhood besides trauma?
I don't have those anymore, but yeah.
There.
I had the flippy
Yeah.
Game Boy
So
Color
that's like
Advanced.
the red one.
No, that was the SP. The Game Boy
Oh
Advance
God,
SP.
he's gone again. He's gone again. Yeah, no, I had the great. There was like an actual like brick. If I remember, maybe I just like hallucinated that there was actually like a brick colored one. But I remember we
a
had
brick
two.
colored one. I
Like-
thought you were just
like
calling
reddish.
it a brick.
Oh,
No,
because
it was a
huge.
brick, but it was
There's
like
not
brick.
there's not a brick colored one,
brick.
because those
I guess
were
I just,
only
Brick.
those were
He's
only
got
like
everything.
those were only like white or gray in color. So there was the Game Boy Advance,
or gray. I guess we had a white one and a green one.
which another little blast from the past. Look at that battery pack, Mad
Yeah.
Cats.
Damn.
This is the one I think Shannon's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Yeah, I had
the-
different color,
The
though.
SP.
yeah. I had one of those.
And then my Game Boy Pocket.
Yeah,
Mine
I didn't
was
have the
blue.
pocket. I had the big gray brick one. And my brother had another one that I'm pretty sure was a different color, but maybe I'm just hallucinating that. I don't know.
I'm out of breath.
But I played Kirby's Dream Land 2 on that, and that was actually it's one of my favorite games ever, honestly. It was the first game I ever completed.
Nice.
I would love to so Steej, when you and Dan were doing Couch Guys, that is what I wanted to, like, if I ever came on as a guest, that's what I would have ended up playing.
Kirby's Dream Land.
Manifest it.
Kirby's Dream Land 2.
You heard it here, folks. Our guest Shannon wants me and Dan, the guy who's not here currently, to revive our old gaming channel.
We'll just
Couch
do it on
Guys.
Oddly Coded.
Just to have Matt as a guest.
Couch Guys reupholstered.
Just to make it
He's
happen.
manifesting it.
We'll just do it on Oddly Coded. This is basically Couch Guys anyway.
Holstered.
Yeah,
right?
Couch Guys +2. Yeah, exactly.
One more first that I wanted to talk about, which is actually technically my second. But seconds, what are seconds other than your first time doing it the second time? But it's not. I know I've said before on here that I have not completed a lot of video games, but Sonic. And this is actually kind of a problem because I don't know which Sonic it was, but I completed it. I think it was just Sonic and Tails, or like Sonic and Tails 2, or Sonic and Knuckles 2, or Sonic and Knuckles. I don't know. It was. I think I've tried to describe this before, and I can't find this fucking game. It's like not on Steam. There was a multi-pack of Sonic games that came on one CD, and it wasn't Sonic CD because that was a completely different game. It was.
You can't find it.
I don't know where it is. Along with Quizmaster, that random show that I was on as a child that I can't fucking find. I really feel like maybe it didn't happen. Anyway.
How much of your childhood didn't actually happen, Matt?
I am the Mandela effect. Fuck me up. That is me. I'm just the Mandela effect incarnate. Like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Did you know it's called the Mandela effect?
Sonic plus Sonic the Mega Collection?
Maybe, I don't know. I'll look into it more later. But yeah, no, if anybody can find a Quizmaster that was like recorded maybe in Maryland or maybe in Delaware, I'm not sure exactly which one, but in
and
like the early 2000s.
Recognize you as a child.
Yeah, if somebody knows who I am, and it was the Tennessee question. That was the one I got wrong, and I think it was the only one I answered also. Anyway.
What if nobody knows who you are, Matt?
Oh, so you're traumatized?
Who am I? I don't know who I am. I'm just,
What did they ask you about Tennessee? What did they ask you?
Oh yeah, it was which state shares its border with the most other states. And I had it was like on the tip of my tongue. I accidentally answered, and it was like Jeopardy.
Sure.
I accidentally answered, and they were like, and I was like, I didn't press the button. And they were like, make a guess. And I was like, Kentucky. But like Tennessee was like the one that like I wanted to say. And then they were like Tennessee. And I was like, okay. Yeah. I cursed on cable television. It's fine. Anyway, yeah.
You went, fuck. Oh, rats.
Wait, I missed something here. Okay, I think I had a little like break in the matrix somewhere because you went from talking about Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Are you now talking about being on TV?
Yeah.
I missed.
That was also
it's because so the Sonic game that I couldn't find. That was how I connected it to Quizmaster, the TV show that I can't find.
I was gonna say, and
then I just went and I just kept going in that direction.
I was lost.
Keep with the program, Steej.
I was like, what does this have to do with Sonic
Keep
the
with
Hedgehog?
the program that I'm not keeping with.
That city segue got so lost in downtown.
I'm glad everybody else kept up with that because I was lost. I was like, what do you
so
mean?
good.
You were doing good. I couldn't tell that you were lost.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the only other thing that I might even like ask you guys is like what maybe like either your first console or the first console that you ever bought with your own money. Because for me, that was I never owned my own console. Like they were either like I'm not going to count gifts because like the Game Boy, the big brick was like the first one that was ever gifted to me. Played some random Gargoyles game on it and I finished Kirby's Dream Land 2. Fucking awesome. Nice. And then I never had my own console. We had a shared console that was a PS1. That was a gift. And then there was my brother bought his own Xbox. And then when I actually bought my own thing, it was an Xbox 360. So, but yeah.
Shannon, what was the first console you ever bought with your own money?
I mean, probably my PC. But that's not a console.
Man,
it counts.
But like that was my first big girl purchase
honestly,
when I got my job.
That's
it's
awesome.
It's a way to play
I was
games.
like,
it counts.
I'm an adult now, so
Yeah.
I can further. Now I have to fund my own childhood.
My own dopamine addiction.
But like, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, basically all of my consoles were gifts.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that's pretty good.
I mean those. Yeah. So what was the first console that was like ever gifted to you?
So that was the PS3, and it was just I begged my parents. We went. I vividly remember going to Target.
Was it for the Spider-Man game?
No, this was in 2000. The Black Ops one, the PS3.
Oh right.
but we go and we're like trying to decide if I should go Xbox or PlayStation, and the Best Buy guy is doing his best, but it all came down to I'm still pretty small, but you can only imagine when I was 10 years old. I had really little hands, and the Xbox controller was just too big for me.
So
I went with the PlayStation, and
the Duke.
Literally, like, I don't know. It was so.
Changed
then
everything.
I got Black Ops, and if I had gotten, I don't know if things would be too different if I got an Xbox, but I'm PlayStation loyal. So
okay.
PlayStation 3 was probably the first system I fully funded by myself. So like when the Game Boy Advance first came out, my mom took me to Walmart and I was able to put a $5 pre-order down on the Game Boy Advance, but my parents ended up paying the rest of I think it was like $65 or something like that it cost at the time. But yeah, PS3 was definitely probably my first that I ever purchased myself, because I think I wasn't living on my own. Never mind. It was my PS4. My PS4 was the only one that I purchased on my own. Because the PS3 was a gift from a friend. And then, oh my God. Okay, so my GameCube. I am just bouncing around memories now.
You really are.
So my GameCube came on a birthday. The ultimate dad joke incoming, by the way. Just to mentally prepare you guys.
I'm ready.
My dad is, bless his heart, he's amazing man, and very much just, you see his jokes coming from a mile away. But I had my birthday, I had all these gifts, and one of them I open up and it's a Rubik's Cube. He's like, "Happy birthday, Lyle, it's your GameCube."
God.
Even like, what was GameCube, 2002, I was 11 years old. I'm sitting there like womp womp, just womping myself. And then he goes, "Lyle, can you go there's a giant pile of laundry on the couch. Can you just go put it in the laundry room real fast?" And then under the pile of laundry is a fucking GameCube.
That's so funny.
Yes. Yeah, no, that would have been mean otherwise. I love that though. That's
Wow.
I love your dad. That's so cute. You guys groaned. Fuck you. I stand by Lyle's dad.
Oh no, it's great.
Hilarious joke.
No, trust me, it's great.
Yeah,
I groaned, but I did love it.
In the moment,
that's the same as an
groaning.
applause. Like if you tell a good dad joke, you need groans.
Yeah,
if you don't get
you're right.
groans,
There's no point.
Yeah.
Mine was the Nintendo Wii, baby. We're talking Wii Sports. We're talking Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii, where you could swipe and it would do the thing with the sword. We're talking about the Legend of Zelda, where
Skyward Sword.
It has like the gun attachment, and you can put everything in the gun attachment, and then it's like it's Legend of Zelda gun, but it's with the where like it's the crossbow. It's
Link's
like the crossbow
training.
shooting gallery, and I got so good at that game. Holy ballsack, I got good at that game.
you mean you weren't
Holy
doing
shit.
the Wii Sports Resort archery with the nunchuck? Come on, man.
Shit, we don't
Fuck
do Wii
you,
Sports
man.
Resort. We got regular Wii Sports because I honestly I just didn't really want to pay for like the attachment thing that you had to get with the Wii Sports. I think maybe I had even sold the Wii by then. I'm really regretting the fact that I have sold my Wii. I sold it for $100 to a friend of mine because I needed money in college, and I regret it to this day. And now I'm sad.
Should.
So
Should have kicked that drug addiction.
Did you have the Wii Fit?
Yes.
no.
How old were you when it
Lyle
called you
has it.
fat for the first time?
How old were you when it
It
changed
was
your
tuned
body
for
image
little
for the rest of your
Japanese
life?
people. It was tuned for little people in Japan.
Raise your
The
hand if
fucking-
you've been
the
victimized by the
music
Wii
it-
Fit board.
I was like, I didn't know.
I'm sorry.
Fat.
I didn't know I'm just incredibly overweight. I'm 10.
Yeah. I actually did it a couple of years ago on that little Wii right there, and it
Did it
even,
humble you?
Yeah.
And now it just doesn't account for muscle mass. It's
It's
all muscle. I mean,
It's all muscle.
yeah, it's just muscle.
It's just
right?
not accounting for muscle mass. That's all.
I
That's
have
all it is.
dense bones. It's
I'm just big
You're just
bones.
big bones.
That
That's
doesn't
all it
Not
scientific.
accounting for my massive dumpy.
Yeah, obviously. All right, Matt. Let's wrap it up.
no.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
No, hey.
oh yeah. Yeah. So follow us on everything. We're on everything.
Wait, it's your first console.
What? Oh, I thought it.
What's your first console?
Oh, my first. So I had the Xbox 360. That was the first one I ever bought. The first console that was ever gifted to me was the brick Nintendo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just so
No, you're fine.
terrified of leaving you out. You're doing such a wonderful job
not. Fuck
hosting,
that
but we
guy.
forget about you.
Now I'm just imagining like a Game Boy being gifted by my dad, and he's like, "Can you go move that laundry?" And then underneath is just a little boy who's like playing games.
Dad, where did you get this?
I found your Game Boy, son. He wants to play games with you.
Play.
It's okay. I paid him $5, so just go home.
Dad, this isn't the Game Boy Pocket I wanted.
Get out of my pocket.
Just a little man in your pocket.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Okay. All right.
This has been Oddly Coded. Thanks for tuning in. Comment down below what your first was. Not
Game.
that.
System.
Or
Not-
system specifically.
Any-
Or whatever. I mean, honestly, we'll take any
first.
comment at this point, please. We're desperate.
And by
First
comment down
world
below, I
cereal.
mean the only place I think you can comment is on YouTube. So
Yeah.
if you're listening to this on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcast, Google Podcast, the other
Apple
one,
Music.
Spotify. I think I said that one already.
You said that. That's fine.
Yeah.
You're doing good. Keep going.
Apple Podcasts.
That's the one.
iPod.
Apple
Casts.
Pie.
Oh wait,
Cast-
they're not gonna know. They're not gonna get the joke that I'm Dan with a voice changer. That's so sad.
Yeah.
They're not gonna know.
They're not going to understand it. Yeah.
They won't get it. Yeah.
I've been Dan this whole time.
They won't get it.
Yeah. Well,
Shannon,
thank
where-
you,
where
Shannon,
can we find you?
for joining us. Yeah. Where can we find you?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I'm hobby_Shannon on Twitter, and on YouTube I'm Spoob, and on Twitch I'm Spoobis, because I couldn't. That was an accident. I didn't think they were like, you can't change it again for 6 months. I was like, I was just checking to see if it was available. It was.
We'll put everything in the
Found that out
in the
the hard way.
description.
Yeah, it'll
Please,
be in the
yeah,
description. And I'm
thanks.
going to have fun editing that, actually. So.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That'd be great.
I have to make things complicated.
That's
It's my talent.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, thank you all for listening. This has been Matt, Steej, Lyle, and Shan filling in for Dan. Thank you for being our first.
Shannon.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the ample prep time. I really appreciate it.
We'll make sure to give you at least like 5 less minutes next time.
Yeah, no, that I want a challenge to see how far away from my computer I can be for you guys to ask me to join your
I'm
podcast.
in California. What the fuck? All right, I'll
back
be there in a
now.
minute. All right.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Shan rhymes with
Bye,
Dan. Conspiracy
farewell.
Shan
theory.
does rhyme with Dan. That's excellent,
Conspiracy
Lyle. Good
theory.
job.